New Comic Book Day is coming up again, so it's time to take a look at the books on the pull list. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and this is the pull list. It's my weekly video series where I take a look at the books coming out. I'm going to tell you what's on the pull list, what's on the chopping block, and I'll even let you know about some new number ones that are on my radar for this week, this Wednesday, May 29th, 2024. May 29th, this Wednesday, is one of the rare fifth Wednesdays in a month. And typically that means it's a light week from the comics publishing side. But it seems like Marvel didn't get that memo. So we're going to talk about all the books on the pull list this week. But before we do that, got to give a huge shout out to Dynamite Entertainment. They are celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. 20 years ago. Where were you? I was 13. And I probably would have eaten up a lot of the stuff they were putting out at the time. But anyway, Dynamite celebrating 20 years. And to do that, they have offered a Humble Bundle. A Humble Bundle is great. They take money for charity and in exchange give you an incredible amount of value. In this case, you're getting over 20,000 pages of Dynamite content, like fan favorites like Red Sonja and Vampirella and stuff like that, right? But also really cool stuff like Kevin Smith's Green Hornet, Sherlock Holmes, Army of Darkness, Alex Ross on Project Superpowers. A lot of indie books that you may have known about, you may not have known about, but Dynamite's opening up the vault so you can get all sorts of stories from their 20-year history. A pledge as low as $20 gets you everything, which that's just insane. Insane amounts of value. So get the Humble Bundle. It's in the description down below. And shout out to Dynamite, 20 years. Congratulations, guys. Now, let's talk about the book that I am most excited for this week. And that is, you're probably going to think I'm crazy, but it's Black Panther Blood Hunt, issue number 1. It's written by Cheryl Lynn Eaton with art. Who is on the art? All right. Written by Cheryl Lynn Eaton with art by Fareed Karami, who apparently had done some fill-in issues on Daredevil. I'm not reading Saladin Ahmed's Daredevil, so I have not seen Fareed's work, but everyone has been ranting and raving about it, including my man Omar from Near Mint Condition. So excited to see what that's about. Now, Black Panther Blood Hunt, as you can tell from the cover, seems Black Panther has been turned into a vampire. And maybe I was just reading Blood Hunt number 1 too quickly, but I did not see that happen. Like, I don't remember seeing him get turned, but the first thing you see in Blood Hunt issue 2 is T'Challa as vampire. So that's interesting. Oh, my bad. Spoilers for Blood Hunt number 2. But I mean, is it really a spoiler? It's the first page of the book and the cover of this one. So anyway, T'Challa's a vampire. And the reason I'm getting this is because, one, the mainline Black Panther series got canceled. So there is no Black Panther book on shelves besides Ultimate Black Panther. So if you want to know what's happening to 616 T'Challa, the Avengers book and the Blood Hunt book are where you're going to find mainline exiled T'Challa in the universe right now. And I'm trying to see specifically what I'm curious about on this book is how does Wakanda react to T'Challa being a vampire? Now, granted, he wasn't in Wakanda when it happened, so I don't know how they're going to explain that part away either. He wasn't in Burning Child. Anyway, the point is, I want to know how T'Challa's loved ones and friends and colleagues and stuff react to the fact that he's turned and what implications it's going to have for the future. Obviously, it's all going to get undone so that we can return back to the status quo at the end of the 5 issues of Blood Hunt. But for now, this will be something to enjoy. Black Panther Blood Hunt is a 3-issue miniseries. First issue is out this week with a cover price of $4.99. Grabbing cover A. I should shout out the fact that Cheryl Lynn Eaton is an alumnus of the Milestone Initiative talent program. So clap it up. Anyway, that's it. That's the first book on the Marvel Comics pull list. And Marvel by far has the heaviest week. They did not get the memo that you're supposed to take the fifth Wednesday off. So let's continue with a bunch of series conclusions, starting with Avengers Twilight, issue number 6. Avengers Twilight, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Daniel Acuna. This is basically The Dark Knight Returns with Captain America. He's been assembling a team to go against the evil descendant of Tony Stark. And it's been interesting stuff so far. Of course, Tony Stark's son is not the real big bad here. We've got another unseen force, an invisible hand, if you will. And Steve Rogers is getting down to the bottom of it. This is the final issue. What I've loved about this is, you know, while, yeah, we can be like, oh, it's just Dark Knight Returns for Captain America, whatever, right? The story doesn't feel predictable. And each issue has ended with a really cool reveal of a classic character that has joining the fray. And this, of course, is going to be the epic, senses-shattering conclusion. So I'm excited about that. Avengers Twilight, issue 6, the final issue out this week with a cover price of $4.99. Grabbing cover A. Next up is another conclusion. This is Rise of the Powers of 10, issue number 5. The whole point of the Rise of the Powers of 10, we thought, was to end Moira's life before the powers could be manifested and, you know, the timeline reset or whatever. That didn't happen. And now our end game is to resurrect the Phoenix Force and use it to fight off the forces of the Dominion. That's the big thing in the Rise of the Powers of 10 is the humans or machines versus the Dominion and whatever. And the Fall of House of X has been about Nimrod and the machines and the humans and whatever. It's all coming to an end, and I don't know, your mileage will vary about how you felt about this. I think Rise of the Powers of 10 has been the better part of the whole Fall of X conclusion saga, but I'm just ready for it to be done. Rise of the Powers of 10, issue number 5 is out this week with a cover price of $4.99. I'm grabbing cover A. And next up is Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 5. Ultimate Spider-Man, written by Jonathan Hickman, art by Marco Cicchetto. Is Marco on art this time around? Because he faked us out 2 issues ago. And yeah, Marco Cicchetto is... Nope. It's David Messina is the series artist for this issue. So, it's fine. It's fine. Basically, in the last issue, we were getting, for me, Ultimate Spider-Man had been amazing. Issues 1, 2, and 3, absolutely amazing. What is going on? Earth-shattering stuff, right? Issue 4 slowed it down a little bit. It was literally the entire book was a talking scene. The things that were being said were pretty cool and revelatory, though. Like, there are people that are alive that are like, wait, what? Why is that person alive? Well, the answer is because it's a different universe. But the way they're interacting with each other is interesting. And what we're looking like is going to happen is we're getting Peter Parker, the Ultimate Spider-Man, and the Ultimate Green Goblin are teamed up, working together in a way that feels pretty interesting. There was a pretty famous line delivered in the last issue, and you're like, that person delivering that line seems wrong. But I don't know. There was something kind of unnerving about the whole dinner scene in the last issue. In this issue, I'm hoping we get back to some action, but the solicit is just telling us this is going to be the sort of secret origin of Harry Osborn, the Ultimate Green Goblin. And so, hey, if we get action in a flashback sequence, I guess that's cool. But I want this series to pick it up a little bit more with the action, especially since there's rumors that Jonathan Hickman is going to be done after like 10 issues of this. I don't know where that rumor came from, but it is a rumor out there. So just so you know, Ultimate Spider-Man issue 5 out this week. The cover price is $4.99. I'm grabbing cover A. Hey, Marvel, when are you dropping those prices? You said they were going to be $3.99, but like everything's $4.99. And this next one is even more than that. Wolverine issue 50 is out this week. This is the final issue of the Benjamin Percy Krakoa era Wolverine title. One of the strongest titles in the dawn, reign, fall of X, in my opinion. Definitely suffered from being interrupted by a bunch of like line-wide initiatives and events like Sins of Sinister and What was the one with the Judgment Day, and all the Hellfire Gal? Like, there's been plenty of interruptions, but when this book has been allowed to breathe, very similarly to the Cody Ziegler Miles Morales, this book has been really, really good. A great Wolverine character study. And in my opinion, this book was over 10 issues ago. Like, it was fine to have ended when, Beast got taken out. But anyway, we had to end with a classic fight between Wolverine and Sabretooth. And Benjamin Percy and Victor Laval have teamed up to make that happen. It's been going on for the last 9 issues. This is the 10th. And so we're going to get the wrap up of the Sabretooth War. But not only that, we're getting a 50th issue spectacular just in time for Wolverine's 50th anniversary. And so, it's thundering outside. But we're getting this 50th anniversary oversized issue. And so we're getting a backup story from Larry Hama, who obviously knows Wolverine very well. If you got any of those Wolverine omnibus from back in the day, Larry Hama wrote Wolverine for like ever. So great person to go back to Wolverine. He's writing a story, and there's some other stories in there as well. They're packing this book tight, and it's going to have a cover price of $7.99. $7.99. I'm grabbing cover A, and that's it. That's the last Marvel book on the pull list. So if I stick to the list, those books are going to cost me $28. And sheesh, Marvel has my whole pull list this week. Not exactly the whole pull list. Next up from DC Comics is Detective. This is an ominous pull list video, isn't it? Next up from DC Comics is Detective Comics issue 1085. I'm still behind on this series. I finished up the Batman Outlaw story, and so I'm behind from there. Only 4 issues behind, so not bad. But Ron V's Detective Comics has been nothing short of amazing. Like, just amazing. It's going to be wrapping up sometime later this year, and I'm going to be sad to see it go, although I've never really felt compelled to follow it issue to issue. This has been meant for long form storytelling from the very beginning. And if you need a hint as to that being the case, just look at the names of the story arcs. It's structured as an opera. We had the overture, Act 1, Act 2, the intermission, and then we have Act 3. And, there we go. We've got a lot going on. So, Detective Comics issue 1085, they are teasing the return of the Joker. I don't know if that's the case, but that's just what the solicit text seems to be hinting toward. And I would say one of the stronger things about this series is that the Joker has been nowhere to be found. So far, this has been mostly focused on Harvey Dent, Two-Face, and Mr. Freeze. That's the guy's name. Two-Face and Mr. Freeze, with, of course, a new villain that's kind of been tied into a bunch of ancient Gotham stuff and Ra's al Ghul and all that. It's been a really cool story for those who are tired of the Joker. So if Joker's coming back, hopefully it doesn't overstay his welcome. Cover price on this one is $4.99. I should also note Stefano Raphael's on art, and Lee Lowridge, who's been doing colors on the Six Fingers series, is doing colors on this one. Cover price is $4.99. I'm grabbing cover A. That's the only DC book on the pull list. So $5 going to DC Comics this week. Well, $5 going to my comic shop. Like $2 going to DC Comics eventually. Next up, the indies on the list this week. There's only one, and that is The Six Fingers, issue number 4. The Six Fingers, written by Dan Waters, art by Sumit Kumar, and again, colors by the aforementioned Lee Lowridge. This is the penultimate issue. We've been following this dude whose name escapes me, but basically he somehow is being possessed and is committing these murders, and he is on just a mission to try to figure out why the heck this is happening to him while he's being chased down by this detective, Ari Nasser. And so interesting stuff has been going on. I'm an issue behind on each of these series, and they're going to both wrap up with issue 5. So anyway, Gonna savor the moment. This is gonna collect really well in a hardcover. I hope it gets like a deluxe, oversized hardcover type deal, but we'll see. Six Fingers, issue 4. Cover price on it is $3.99. Oh wow, a regularly priced comic. I'm grabbing cover A. That's it for the indies on the pull list. That's gonna cost me $4 this week, and that means my grand total for the week is $37. I guess that's technically a light week for me. Marvel why so many books, Marvel? Anyway, it's now time for me to shout out some books, new number ones that perhaps should be on your radar this week. Starting with, from Critical Entertainment, this is The First Americans, issue number 1. It is available through previews. So if your local comic shop's general manager, is pretty good at just ordering stuff like just off the beaten path, this might be in your shop, even if you didn't pre-order it for FOC. But The First Americans I previewed on my Dope Comic Spotlight not too long ago. But it's basically about like a nomad tribe, in what I guess we can call prehistoric times. It's just a long time ago, not quite like caveman times, but they're hunting down a trail of like mammoths and whatnot. Well, I guess that would be prehistoric because mammoths are prehistoric animals. But anyway, very interesting, a mostly silent issue. I really, really enjoyed it. So hopefully you will too. First Americans, number 1, out this week. Cover price is $4.99. And probably the most curious book out there this week, in my opinion, is William of Newbury, issue number 1. It's written and drawn by Michael Avon Oeming of Powers fame. More recently, he did the Blue Book series with James Tynion IV. And I really just love his art style. It's almost like, I don't know, Gendy Tartakovsky in like comic book form. It reminds me of stuff like that, like Samurai Jack. It's kind of like New Age Mike Mignola, heavy blacks, heavy shadows, and like nice flat colors. Anyway, Michael Avon Oeming has conceived of this series, William of Newbury, with an anthropomorphic raccoon, which is pretty much all you need to get me involved in any title. The only reason it's on the radar and not on the pull list, this is very much like a supernatural book. It's just like, I don't know. I've got it written down as like Rocket Raccoon meets Constantine. This dude who's like fighting supernatural powers and demons and stuff that typically I don't go for. The only reason I'm checking for it is because it's an anthropomorphic raccoon drawn in the style of Michael Avon Oeming. I think he's got it billed as like Hellboy meets something. I don't know. Hellboy inspired though, for sure. William of Newbury, number 1, out this week. I think it's from Dark Horse Comics. Cover price is $4.99. And the last thing that maybe should be on the radar this week for you guys is X-Men, the Wedding Special. Issue number 1 is a one-shot. Why do anything special literally at the end of your Fall of X era, right? Like, we're clearly getting all these reboots and stuff, and who knows how it's going to affect continuity and canon and stuff. Maybe this issue of Rise of the Powers of 10 will answer that. Like, there's all the stuff that just happened. Did it happen or did it not? And whatever. I guess we'll figure that out. But it seems wild to me to do any sort of initiative literally on your way out the door. But X-Men, the Wedding Special, number 1, is a special edition of Marvel Voices Pride, since Pride Week or Pride Month is in 3 days, starting in June. But they are going to finally let Destiny and Mystique be wed. So apparently like that was supposed to be the plan for them the entire time, and Marvel editorial didn't allow it back whenever Chris Claremont invented it, 70s, 80s, 90s, I don't know. But now, here we are 30 years later, times have changed. And so they've been lovers for a minute, and now they're going to be married. So if you wanted to pick that up, it's going to cost you $10, but it is out this week. That's cover A that I showed you. And that's it. Those are all the books that are on the radar because, of course, Marvel just had to be greedy. Like, just these $10 anthologies, I'm done with them. But anyway, let's end the pull list on a positive note. By the way, today is Memorial Day as I film this. So this is the day that we stop in America to recognize our service members who lost their lives in the line of duty. It started in memorial of the Civil War. And it's kind of expanded to include all wars, but I've also seen like police officers or police departments and stuff use this. Basically anyone who died in service to the country or even local municipalities. This is the day that we kind of pause and honor them. So if you or if a loved one of yours lost their lives, you know, whether it was in war, whether it was friendly fire, whatever it may have been, our thoughts are with you. And yeah, man, hope you guys are enjoying your day. Let me know what books you're grabbing when you hit the comic shop this week. I am getting ready. I'm packing for my vacation. So excited about that. I'm leaving Sunday and I'll be back the following Sunday. And then I'm going to Heroes Con the week after that. So that's going to be fun. But I'm packing up all week. I'm probably not even going to be picking up these books until I get back like midway through June. So let me know how they were. Let me know what you're enjoying. And I'll see you guys in another video real soon. Till then, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.